Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube station, and we're bringing you Game 2 of the one and done 1970s franchise theme tournament. We've already played Game 1, which was between the American League 1 seed 1970 Baltimore Orioles and the number 8 seed in the American League, the 1977 Rangers. I suggest if you want, check that out. It was a good game. In the nightcap, it's going to be the number 8 seed 1973 New York Mets versus the 1975 Cincinnati Reds, who are the 1 seed. The Mets in 1973 went to the World Series, 82 wins and 79 losses. They would lose to the Oakland A's. The Cincinnati Reds in 1975 won 108 games with only 54 losses. And they would beat my beloved Boston Red Sox in 7 games in the World Series. But this is a one and done, so anything can happen here. Pitching today for the Mets, Tom Seavers. He'll be opposed by Jack Billingham. And in retro replay world, it's 59 degrees here at Riverfront Stadium. Wind speed 7 miles per hour, right to left. And as they say, play ball. Alright, let's quickly go through the lineups here. Batting first, Felix Millan. He's playing second base for the Mets, the 1973 Mets. Batting second, the right fielder, Rusty Staub. Batting third, Jerry Brody, the catcher. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter, John Milner, playing first base. An aging say-hey kid, Willie Mays, batting fifth, playing center field. I do believe this is his last season. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Wayne Garrett. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Cleon Jones. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. And batting ninth and doing the pitching, Tom Seavers. For the Cincinnati Reds, the computer will be managing the Cincinnati Reds. I will be managing all the lower seeds. So in this game, I am managing the 1973 Mets. The only team that I will always manage are the 1978 Boston Red Sox, who are in this tournament. And will be facing the Minnesota Twins of 1970 at a later date. So batting first for Cincinnati, playing second base, Joe Morgan. Batting second, playing third base, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. Batting third, the left fielder, George Foster. Speak softly, carry a big stick. Batting fourth, the Hall of Fame catcher, Johnny Bench. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Ken Griffey Sr., father of Ken Griffey Jr. Batting sixth, Tony Perez at first base. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Cesar Geronimo. Batting eighth, the smooth fielding, Davey Concepcion, playing shortstop. And batting ninth, doing the pitching, Jack Billingham. Here's Jack Billingham. He's on the mound, and in 1975, Billingham was 15 wins, 10 losses. ERA not so good, 4.11. Batting average against 279. Very strange that the computer would pick Jack Billingham to face Tom Seaver in this one-and-done tournament. And might I say, we have in the chat a good friend of our channel, ID Gesture. He just got done playing some Grim Dawn. You got to check out ID Gesture's channel. And I have to say, the idea for this one-and-done tournament does come from ID Gesture. I'm sure other people have done it too, but he had a wonderful one-and-done tournament that's on his channel. I can't remember which baseball sim he used, but it was absolutely great. I want to say it was it PC Replay? I think. Anyway, check out ID Gesture. Wonderful channel. He's been doing a lot of Grim Dawn and Diablo. And he did a little Path of Exile. If you have Steam, Path of Exile is a very fun game. It's free. plays like Diablo. I'm not going to say it's as good, but it's free, and it's a very fun game. Grim Dawn's also an excellent game, and the Steam sale's going on right now, folks. So check out those games, and most of all, check out ID Gesture's channel. Inside Pitch, ID says. I love that one and done tournament. And I had that idea after I saw ID do it. And it was the 2015 season, he's telling me. He's in the chat. Jump in the chat. Feel free to chat with ID Gesture. I'm so lucky to have ID Gesture in the chat. Awesome sauce. So, anyhow. Yeah, I got that idea from him. And there's other people who've done it, I'm sure. I've seen it other places, too. But he did it so well. And I said, I bought a lot of seasons for Action PC baseball. My friend Chris Anderson at work says I need an intervention. So... And ID Jester says, and the 28th seed Cincinnati Reds won the whole ball. Yes, they did. That was an awesome game. And we went with the pitcher. I can't remember his name. No. Was it yeah, we went with the pitcher for the MVP. We voted on it. I remember that. I can't remember his name, though. All right, back to the ball game. Or I'll be going to 1 in the morning talking with ID. But we'll talk with ID in between innings. As long as he stays in the chat, we'll be chatting with him. So Jack Billingham, very strange pick by the computer. Again, 15 and 10, 4.11 ERA, batting average against 279. He's starting in this one and done tournament. His battery mate, Hall of Fame catcher, Johnny Bench, enough said. Pete Rose playing third base. Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle played all over. An outstanding ball player. All-time hits leader. He should be in the Hall of Fame. And I suggest he should be in the Hall of Fame, and you can put under his plaque or next to his plaque, banned from baseball due to gambling. That's what I'd like to see. That's just my opinion. I'd like to see him in the Hall of Fame before he passes away, and he's banned from any type of baseball operations. That's just my opinion. Davey Concepcion at short, who's outstanding. Joe Morgan, again, another outstanding fielder at second base. And Tony Perez, average. So at the corners, they're average, and in the middle, they're outstanding in the infield. Then you have George Foster in left, very good outfielder. Cesar Geronimo, another excellent outfielder in center field. 10 of 10, 10 of 10 for arm and range. And Ken Griffey Sr., 6 of 10 for range, 6 of 10 for arm. This is going to be a good game. Hey, what's blazing in sports has jumped in the chat. How you doing, my friend? How's the little man? How's the little man? Excellent. Remember to check out What's Blazing in Sports. If you like boxing, he does a wonderful boxing talk show. You jump in the chat. He talks with you. It's really wonderful. I got to check out some more videos that he's posted. Looking forward to those. Very pleasant. And sometimes you get to see the little man, his son, or hear from him. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, so Felix Millan will lead off. And in 1973, Felix Millan had an excellent year. Batted .290, 3 home runs and 37 RBIs. And he hit right-handed pitching at a .281 clip. Billingham, this is where I think we have an advantage here, is the pitching. I will be managing the 73 Mets, who had outstanding pitching. Not the best record, remember, as the Mets only went 82 and 79 and won a very weak National League East. And then they upset the Cincinnati Reds in the pennant in 1973 to go on to face the Oakland A's and eventually lose in 7 games to the powerhouse Oakland A's teams of the early to mid 70s. So Jack Billingham, 76 walks to 79 strikeouts. So Millan will take the windup and the pitch by Billingham. Strike 1. Slider in there. So no balls, 1 strike. Millan to swing away. Bench goes through the signs. Billingham sets and delivers. And that's whipped to Concepcion, who makes a fabulous catch going high to snag that line drive right out of the air. So 1 up, 1 down. Rusty Staub, La Grande Orange, steps to the plate. Staub in 1973 batted .279, 15 home runs and 76 ribbies. And off right-handed pitching, he batted .298. The windup and the pitch to Staub. He'll be swinging away. And Staub sends that ball up in the air, and Joe Morgan, the second baseman, calls for it. He makes the catch for out number 2. Oh, so what's Blazy in Sports? Thank you very much. It says, just chilling the night away. Saw my boy went live and clicked in. I appreciate that. And he says, the little man, LOL, fighting sleep. Ha ha ha. Alrighty, so 2 down, no one on, and Jerry Grody, the Mets catcher, steps to the plate. Grody in 1973 hit .256, 1 home run, and 32 RBIs. Hit right-handed pitching at a .268 clip. The windup and the pitch to Grody. And Grody sends that ball foul, and Tony Perez! No, he does not make the catch. Does not make the catch. He reached into the stands but could not make the catch. So now, no balls, 2 strikes. Grody back at the plate. Bench goes through the sign. Billingham nods his head. The windup and the pitch. And Grody grounds to Morgan. Inning over. So 3 up, 3 down for the Mets. Due up for the Cincinnati Reds. Morgan, Rose, and Foster. On the mound for the 1973 Mets, Tom Seavers. And in 1973, Seaver went 19 wins, 10 losses, an ERA of 2.08, batting average against .206, struck out 251, only walked 64. This is where the Mets have a great opportunity here to advance, even though they're the 8th seed against the 1 seed Cincinnati Reds. Behind the plate, very good defensive catcher Jerry Grody. Wayne Garrett at third, below average. Bud Harrelson at short, 7 out of 10. That's a solid, good shortstop. Felix Mian at second base, 7 out of 10. Another solid, good second baseman. So the Mets are very solid up the middle. And on the corners, below average, with John Milner at first and Garrett at third. In left field, Cleon Jones, below average defender and with a below average arm. Willie Mays, the aging Willie Mays, the say-hey kid coming to an end of his career. He's playing center field. He's also well past his prime defensively, only 4 out of 10, but still has a pretty good arm. Still has a 7 out of 10. There's still some shot in that shotgun, my friends. And then Rusty Staub in right field. 6 out of 10 for range, but he has a cannon for an arm, 9 out of 10. So here's Joe Morgan, leadoff hitter for the Cincinnati Reds. Their second baseman. In 1975, Morgan, an absolutely outstanding year. Batted .327, 17 home runs, 94 RBIs. Lefty-righty matchup here. Morgan hit .348 off right-handed pitching in 75. So Tom Seaver gets the sign from Grody. He sets and delivers to Morgan. And Morgan grounds him. Mian makes a diving play towards the second base bag. Gets up and throws. Morgan out. Unbelievable. So 1 out. Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle steps to the plate. Reds third baseman in 1975. Batted .317. 7 home runs, 74 RBIs. Rose had 210 hits in 1975. Outstanding. Lefty-righty matchup. Rose is a switch hitter, so he's batting left-handed against the right-handed Tom Seaver. Seaver nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Rose. Rose sends that ball out to Rusty Staub in right field, and Staub makes the catch. So 2 up, 2 down, and now the quiet one. George Foster steps to the plate. Speaks softly, carry a big stick. Excellent power hitter. Foster in 1975, the Reds left fielder, batted .300, 23 home runs, 78 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup. 2 outs, no one on. Seaver toes the rubber. The windup and the pitch to Foster. And Foster sends that ball deep and off the left center field wall, a 2-out double. So Foster's in scoring position. His speed is 7 out of 10, which is quite good. And Johnny Bench steps to the plate. Hall of Fame catcher. In 1975, Bench hit .283, 28 homers, 110 RBIs. Very dangerous cleanup hitter here. On deck, Ken Griffey Sr. I think we're going to pitch a little carefully to Bench here. He batted .278 against right-handed pitching. We're going to try to get Bench to reach with a pitch around. The windup and the pitch by Seaver. And Bench walks. So Bench walks on the 3-1 count. And it brings up Ken Griffey Sr. Sr. in 1975 hit .305, 4 home runs, 46 RBIs, righty-lefty matchup. He batted .312 off right-handed pitching. Runners at first and second, 2 down. Grody goes through the signs. The windup and the pitch to Griffey. And Griffey sends that ball out to Willie Mays in right center, and Mays tracks it down for the 3rd out of the inning. So Willie's showing the old turn back the clock, his old youth days, as he gets the 3rd out there. After 1, no score. Due up for the Mets, Milner, Mays, and Garrett. John Milner's at the plate. The Mets' first baseman in 1973 batted .239, 23 home runs, and 72 RBIs. He batted .252 off right-handed pitching. Jack Billingham gave up a .294 average against left-handed batters. Milner to take. Here's the pitch by Billingham. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Milner to grip and rip. The windup and the pitch. And Milner sends that ball deep and gone! 1-0 Mets. He crushed that ball to right center field. Unbelievable 379-foot home run. Boom! Went the ball. That's why we inserted him in the lineup. He 9 out of 10 power against right-handed pitching. Willie Mays comes to the plate. Mays in his final season comes back to New York and plays with the Metropolitans. Mays batted .211, 6 home runs, 25 ribbies. He batted .248 though off right-handed pitching, and had decent power off right-handed pitching. Mays will be taking. Bench goes through the signs. Billingham sets and delivers. Strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. Say, hey kids, ready to swing. The windup and the pitch. And Mays strikes out. So 1 out, no one on. 1-0 Mets on the Milner home run. Wayne Garrett steps to the plate. The Mets' 3rd baseman in 1973 batted .256, 16 home runs, 58 RBIs, and batted .255 off right-handed pitching. Lefty-righty matchup here. Billingham nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Garrett. And Garrett pops it up. Bench throws his mask off, and he makes the catch in front of home plate. So 2 outs now. Base is empty, and Cleon Jones steps to the plate. Cleon in 1973 batted .260, 11 home runs and 48 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup. The windup and the pitch by Billingham. And Jones sends that ball deep to the left field corner, and Foster makes the catch. Inning over, but damage done on the John Milner home run. We go to the bottom of the 2nd, 1-0. 1973 Mets over the 1975 Cincinnati Reds. Tony Perez steps to the plate. And then he'll be followed by Geronimo and Concepcion. Perez in 1975, the Reds' first baseman batted .282, 20 home runs, and 109 RBIs. Perez can tie this game up, obviously with 1 swing of the bat. Seaver gets the sign from Grody. He sets and delivers to Perez. And that ball's ripped into left field for a single. So Perez is on first, being held down by John Milner. 4 out of 10 speed. 17% chance of stealing second. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to play Milner behind him. We're going to play Milner behind him. So now Cesar Geronimo comes to the plate. Geronimo in 75 batted .257, 6 homers, 53 RBIs. Batted .284 off right-handed pitching. Receiver gets the sign from Grody. He sets and delivers. And he strikes out Geronimo. 1 out. Perez still at first. Milner goes back. They want to hold him on again. I don't want to hold him on. And Davey Concepcion steps to the plate. The slick fielding Red shortstop in 1975. Batted .274. 5 home runs, 49 RBIs. Batted .290 off right-handed pitching. Righty-righty matchup. Excellent hit and run man. 7 out of 10. Bunting, 4 out of 10. I don't think he will be bunting with 1 out though. Perez at first. Milner playing behind him. Seaver sets and delivers. And that ball's grounded to Seaver, and he bobbles it. And that's going to be an error on Tom Terrific. Probably could have been a double play ball there. But instead, the Reds have runners at first and second. Perez at second. Concepcion at first. And it brings up the pitcher, Jack Billingham. Excellent bunter, 10 out of 10. He'll be probably laying down a bunt here. And we're actually going to play, I think we're going to play our infield halfway. We're going to play our infield halfway. Receiver gets the sign from Grody. He sets and delivers to Billingham. And he strikes him out! So wow, they did not have the bunt on. I thought even with 1 out they'd be bunting with the pitcher. So 2 outs. Runners at first and second. And Joe Morgan steps to the plate. Red's second baseman's 0 for 1. Very dangerous hitter. Looking to tie the game up here, as the Mets lead 1-0 on the Milner home run in the top of the second. He grounded to second his first time up, Morgan did. Receiver sets and delivers. And that ball sent out to Staub, and Staub makes the catch in right field on the warning track. Threat over. We go to the top of the third, still 1-0. 1973 Mets over the 1975 Cincinnati Reds. The Mets are the 8th seed in the National League bracket, and the Reds are the 1 seed. So Bud Harrelson comes to the plate. Harrelson hit .258 in 1973. No home runs, 20 ribbies. Harrelson 4 out of 10 for bunting. Seaver's on deck, and then Felix Millan, the top of the order. Harrelson will take. Here's the pitch by Billingham. Ball 1. Harrelson ready to grip and rip. Throws. Creeps in a little bit at third base, then goes back. Bench flashes the sign. The windup and the pitch to Bud Harrelson. And Harrelson sends that ball into shallow right field towards the line, and Griffey comes racing in to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down. Now bring up Tom Seaver, the pitcher. 1973, he batted .161. He had a home run and 5 RBIs. Let's see what Tom Terrific can do. He'll take the windup and the pitch. Strike 1, he'll take again. Strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes. Seaver will swing away. And he strikes out. So 2 outs, no one on. Top of the order, Felix Millan steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. The windup and the pitch by Billingham. Oh, he plunks Millan. Wow. That curveball got away from him. So Millan's at first, 2 outs, and La Grande à l'Orange steps to the plate. Rusty Staub, the red-headed wonder. It's actually more of an orange-looking hair, to be honest with you. That's why the La Grande à l'Orange. Staub 0 for 1. Millan's at first, 5 out of 10 for speed, 20% chance of stealing second, but Johnny Bench, you're not running on Johnny Bench, 9 out of 10 arm. Billingham gets the sign from Bench. The windup and the pitch to Staub. And Staub works a walk, so runners at first and second, 2 outs, and the Mets catcher Jerry Grody comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Chance to add some insurance runs here for the Mets. 2 outs, 2 on. Billingham sets and delivers. Grody to swing away. And Grody sends that ball in the left field, and that's going to be a double. That's a hustle double for Jerry Grody. The catcher was hauling butt right off the bat when he hit that. 2-0 Mets. Grody's at second. Staub goes to third. And now John Milner, who's 1 for 1, he homered his first time up, can increase the Mets lead. So Bench goes out to have a word with Billingham, now goes back behind the plate. Billingham toes the rubber. He's ready. The windup and the pitch to Milner. And Milner sends that ball deep, but Griffey catches it on the warning track on the right field corner for out number 3. But the Mets score another one, and we go to the bottom of the third. 2-0, Mets. Due up for the Cincinnati Reds of 1975, Pete Rose, George Foster, and Johnny Bench to face Tom Terrific. Rose, 0 for 1 today. Seaver's ready to work. Here's the pitch. And Rose rips her shot to Mian, and he makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. George Foster comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1. Foster doubled in the first inning off the left center field wall. Let's see if they can get him to chase. Try the pitch around here. The windup and the pitch to Foster. And Foster rips a play right at Harrelson. What a diving catch he makes. Wow, robbing Foster of his second hit. 2 outs, no one on. Johnny Bench comes to the plate. Bench walked his first time up. Grody flashed the signs. The windup and the pitch by Seaver. And he strikes out Bench to end the inning. We go to the top of the fourth, 2-0. 1973 Mets over the 1975 Cincinnati Reds in this one-and-done tournament. Willie Mays comes to the plate, and behind him, Wayne Garrett and Cleon Jones to face Jack Billingham. He struggled his last 2 innings, giving up single digits in both. Mays 0 for 1. Steps in the batter's box. He's ready for Billingham's pitch. Rose goes through the sign. Here it is. And Mays sends that ball out to shallow right center field. Geronimo makes the catch. Reds fans applaud that fine defensive effort by Geronimo. Mays makes the first out of the inning. Wayne Garrett, Mets third baseman, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He's going to take. Billingham sets and delivers. Strike 1. Off-speed pitch in there, right down the middle. Garrett liked to have that one back. So, no balls, 1 strike. Billingham ready to work. And he walks Garrett. So good job by Garrett. He's on first base. Wayne Garrett, 6 out of 10 for speed. 23% chance of stealing second base. Again, we're not stealing anywhere. Bench's arm, 9 out of 10. Tony Perez holding Garrett on, and that brings up Cleon Jones. 1973 Mets left fielder. He's 0 for 1. Hit and run, he's 6 out of 10. We're going to play a little hit and run ball here. The windup and the pitch to Jones. And he swings and misses, and Bench guns down Garrett at second base for out number 2. So now Cleon Jones has 2 outs, base is empty, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. The windup and the pitch by Billingham. Oh, he plunks him! Wow, that's a second batter that Billingham has hit. Curveball gets away from him. And now Bud Harrelson comes to the plate. Harrelson 0 for 1. He flied to shallow right his first time up. Harrelson's a 5 out of 10 for hit and run. Tom Seaver on deck. We'd like to get Harrelson on base so we can get past the pitcher. Hello, Max Cornelius in the chat. How you doing so far, my friend? So Harrelson will take. Jones 4 out of 10 for speed, 15% chance of stealing. Perez holding him on at first. Here's the pitch to Harrelson. Strike 1, so Billingham starts him off with a strike. Hit the inside corner at the knees with that pitch. No balls, 1 strike. Harrelson ready to grip and rip. Billingham sets, delivers the pitch. But he throws over. Jones gets back at first. Harrelson steps back in the batter's box. Johnny Bench goes through the sign. Billingham nods his head. Here's the pitch to Harrelson. And Harrelson grounds to Morgan. And Morgan goes to Concepcion, covering second base, inning over. We go to the bottom of the fourth, the 1973 New York Mets 2, the 1975 Cincinnati Reds nothing in this one-and-done tournament. Due up for the Reds, Ken Griffey Sr., Tony Perez, and Cesar Geronimo. Griffey's 0 for 1. Lefty-righty matchup here. The windup and the pitch by Seaver. And that's grounded to Garrett, who throws Griffey out. They just got him, but an out's an out. So 1 up, 1 down. Tony Perez steps to the plate. Perez 1 for 1. He singled in the second. Receiver gets the sign from Grody. We're going to try to get Perez to reach. Going to go with the pitch around. And he sends that ball out to Cleon Jones in left field for out number 2. So we got Perez to reach just enough to take enough power away from him to fly out to left to Cleon Jones. So 2 outs, nobody on. Cesar Geronimo steps to the plate. The Red center fielder 0 for 1. Lefty-righty matchup. Seaver's ready to work. Here's the pitch to Geronimo. And he strikes him out to end the inning. We go to the top of the 5th. 2-0 Mets. Seaver throwing a 2-hit shutout right now. And he leads off. Tom Terrific. Then the top of the order. Mian and Staub. Seaver 0 for 1. He's going to swing away. Billingham sets and delivers to Seaver. And Seaver grounds it to Perez, who flips to Billingham for the out. So with 1 out, Felix Mian, the Mets second baseman, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Johnny Bench flashes the sign. The windup and the pitch by Billingham. And Mian, a slow roller to Concepcion, who makes a strong throw to Perez for out number 2. And now La Grande à la Ronde. Rusty Staub steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Mets right fielder would love to get a hold of one. Give the Mets a 3-0 lead. The windup and the pitch to Staub. And he sends that ball up the middle for a 2-out single. Staub now 1 for 2. Hello, Christopher Anderson. How you doing? Oh, ha ha ha, Chris. Hello, Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. Eric asks, how did you pick the teams? Well, Action PC Baseball, when you buy this decade of the 70s, I didn't even realize they give you the best franchise teams, which you already have. They just put them in league form. So I picked the 16 teams I like the best, mostly with best record. The Mets did not have the best record, but they did go to the World Series, so I picked them as the 8th seed in the National League. Glad to see you all here tonight. Christopher Anderson's in a bit of a frisky mood. Alright, 2 outs, Staub at first, Grody at the plate, Mets catcher 1 for 2. Grounded out in the first, doubled in the third. Perez holding Staub on. Staub not much speed, 3 out of 10, 14% chance of stealing second. The windup and the pitch to Grody. Throws over to keep Staub close though. Grody steps out of the box, steps back in the box. Johnny Bench now motions to Billingham. Billingham nods his head. Here's the pitch to Grody. And Grody rips that ball to Rose, who throws over to Perez, inning over. Nice play by Pete Rose. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 1973 Mets 2. The 1975 Cincinnati Reds nothing. Remember, this is a one-and-done tournament. The Mets actually, even though they're an 8th seed, their pitching staff is outstanding. They have a good shot of winning this tournament. I manage all the lower seeds, except for the Red Sox. I will always manage the Boston Red Sox. And the Boston Red Sox team that is in this tournament is the 1978 team. And as Eric from Higher Ground Gaming knows, I don't like their bullpen at all, the Red Sox. They will be playing the Minnesota Twins of 1970 at a later date. So Davey Concepcion steps to the plate. He'll be followed by the pitcher Jack Billingham. Then the top of the order, Joe Morgan. Concepcion's 0 for 1. Seaver works quickly. Here's the pitch. And Concepcion grounds to Millan for out number 1. You can feel a lot of anxiousness going through this Reds crowd here at Riverfront Stadium. They're down 2-0. Seaver's throwing a 2-hit shutout right now in the bottom of the 5th. And here comes the pitcher, Jack Billingham. He's 0 for 1. Let's see if they'll keep him up there or if they'll come with a pinch hitter. I know it's early in the game, but Sparky was known as Captain Hook, the Reds manager. Brody flashes the sign. Seaver nods his head. Here's the pitch to Billingham. That's grounded to Millan. Over to Milner for out number 2. So the first 2 Reds batters are playing a little pepper ball with Felix Millan. 2 outs, no one on, and Joe Morgan. The Reds second baseman steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. The windup and the pitch to Morgan. And Morgan sends that ball out to Willie Mays in center, who makes the catch. Inning over. Top of the 6th. 2-0 Mets. 2 up for the Mets. John Milner, he homered in the 2nd to give the Mets a 1-0 lead. Then Willie Mays and Wayne Garrett. Milner 1 for 2, as I stated. Hit a solo homer in the 2nd and fly deep down the right field line in the 3rd. He's been right on target for Billingham. He'd love to get his 2nd big bomb. Bench goes through the signs. Billingham toes the rubber. He sets and delivers to Milner. And Milner rips the 2nd one to dead right field. It's 3-0. Wow! Milner crushed that pitch. 347, and now the air has gone out of Billingham's balloon. Milner is 9 out of 10 for power against right-handed pitching. He now has 2 home runs. Outstanding. Willie Mays, the aging say-hey kid, steps to the plate. Mays 0 for 2. The windup and the pitch by Billingham. He's shell-shocked right now. And Mays strikes out, so Mays goes 0 for 3. And Wayne Garrett steps to the plate. The Mets' third baseman comes up with 1 out, bases empty. Popped out in the 2nd to the catcher, Johnny Bench, then walked in the 4th. He'd like to deposit 1 into the stands. Love to give a Reds fan a souvenir. Here's the windup and the pitch to Wayne Garrett. And Garrett sends that ball deep to Foster in left field, who makes the catch on the warning track. So 2 outs, no one on, and Cleon Jones steps to the plate. Cleon's 0 for 1. Fly deep down the left field line in the 2nd, and then was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Curveball that got away from Billingham. ID Gesture in the chat says, I sense an upset in the making. Higher Ground Gaming. The more I play Action PC, the more I think like the best overall, great blend, gameplay, stats, and graphics in value. Oh yeah, great game. I love it. I like all 3 games I play. I like Out of the Ballpark 18. I love this game I'm playing now, Action PC Baseball, and I really do like that Digital Diamond Baseball. I love them all. I enjoy all of them. That's why I put them on my channel. Chris Anderson plays APA online. Chris, why don't you tell him a little bit about that? So Cleon Jones comes to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. As I stated, 2 outs, nobody on. He's ready to grip and rip. The windup and the pitch to Jones. And Jones grounds that ball foul of Rose. So the count's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Billingham and Bench can't get on the same page. Johnny calls timeout, goes out to the mound, trying to keep this game close here. Mets up 3-0. Bench goes back behind the plate. Now they're all set. Here's the windup and the pitch by Billingham. And he strikes out Cleon Jones, so whatever Bench told him worked. Inning over, but another John Milner homer, and we go to the bottom of the 6th with the 1973 Mets 3. The 1975 Cincinnati Reds goose egg, nothing. Due up for the Reds, Pete Rose, George Foster, and Johnny Bench. Oh, Christopher Anderson's being silly in the chat. You're lucky one of my moderators not here, Chris. I'd have to tell them, they'd be like looking at you going, Al, should we ban him? Chris is just joking. Yeah, he plays APA, so that's pretty cool. He tells me about it. That's a very... I'd like to try that, Chris, the APA. So, and what Chris does, just to get away from this game for a second, what Chris does in APA, and he can better explain it in the chat, is they play seasons, and he just made these outstanding trades. He knew, like, he wasn't going to be as good as he wasn't going to be as good this year, but he's made some great trades that set him up for the next season. Unbelievable. So, all right, so Pete Rose is at the plate. Rose 0 for 2. Switch hitter batting left-handed against the right-hand pitching Seaver. Brody goes through the sign. Here's the pitch to Rose. And that ball sent out to Rusty Staub in right field. He comes in and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. With each out, the Reds fans just seem to get cringe a little more in their seats. George Foster steps to the plate. 1 out, no one on, 1 for 2. Foster doubled in the first, and then lined to short in the third. Seaver's ready. Here's the pitch to Foster, and he strikes him out. 2 up, 2 down. And Johnny Bench, Hall of Fame catcher, steps to the right-handed batter steps to the plate. Bench 0 for 1. Walked in the first, struck out in the third. Seaver's looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Nods his head. He sets and delivers to Bench. Ground ball to Harrelson, over to Milner. Inning over. 1-2-3 go the Reds. We go to the top of the 7th. And can you hear that silence from the crowd? Can you hear it? Due up for the Mets. Harrelson, Seaver, and Millan to face Jack Billingham. Billingham's now up to 92 pitches. His threshold's 130. Harrelson's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch to Bud. And Harrelson sends that ball out to Griffey and right, who doesn't even have to move. Out number 1. Tom Seaver steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He'll be taking. Here's the pitch by Billingham. Ball 1. He'll take again. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Guess what Tom Terrific's going to do? That's right, take. And there's a strike. 2-1. The windup and the pitch by Billingham. And Seaver rips a line shot, but Davey Concepcion's there and makes the catch. So 2 outs, no one on, top of the order. Felix Millan steps to the plate. Mets second baseman's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch to Millan. And Millan rips that to Rose, over to Perez. Inning over, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Due up for the Cincinnati Reds, Ken Griffey Sr., Tony Perez, and Cesar Geronimo. Griffey's 0 for 2. Jerry Grody flashes the signs. Seaver nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Griffey. Ground ball foul to the right side. The count's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that ball is a double. No, a triple as Griffey continued to run. As Mays, in his advanced age, took a little time getting to the ball. And Griffey just kept hustling around second base. A leadoff triple. The Reds are finally in business here. That's only their 3rd hit off Tom Seaver. So Griffey's at 3rd. No outs. Tony Perez comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He's a home run threat. 1 swing of the bat, and the Reds are right back in this ball game, folks. Singled in the 2nd. Fly deep to left in the 4th. On deck, Cesar Geronimo. Grody goes out to the mound, has a word with Seaver, now back behind the plate. The windup and the pitch to Perez. And he strikes him out! So that's 1 out. Griffey at 3rd. Cesar Geronimo comes to plate. Geronimo 0 for 2. He has struck out both times. Seaver's looking for the hat trick. Working quickly. Here's the pitch to Geronimo. And that's ripped up the middle off the wall. And that's a double. Griffey scores. Geronimo's at second with 1 out. He has an RBI, and Davey Concepcion steps to the plate. The Reds have finally broken through against Tom Seaver here in the bottom of the 7th. It's now 3-1 Mets. Seaver walks off the mound a bit, rubs up the baseball, steps back on the mound. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. And that ball sent out to Willie Mays, and he makes an outstanding running catch. Comes into third, but Geronimo's in there safe. Nice slide by Cesar Geronimo. So 2 outs. Geronimo at third, and now the pitcher, Jack Billingham, comes to plate, and I'm sure Sparky Anderson is going to go to his bench. And let's see. Let's try to take a guess at who Anderson's going to come with. And they have access to all their players here. So, against a righty, I would think you'd come with Dan Dreesen, the lefty, who hit 299. That's who I'd come with, but the computer does some crazy things. So my guess is Dan Dreesen. He's batting 299, possibly Doug Flynn. I wouldn't come with Doug Flynn. I definitely would come with Dan Dreesen. Those are the 2 choices, really, against right-handed pitching. Alrighty, so I'll click pitch and we'll see what happens. I'm thinking a pinch hitter. No! He strikes out Billingham. So Sparky Anderson keeps Billingham in the game. Wow! With a runner at third and 2 outs. Computer Sparky, what are you doing? We'll take that all day. So we go to the top of the 8th, the 1973 Mets 3. The 1975 Cincinnati Reds won as they finally break through against Tom Seaver. Hello, the Cubs, the Bears. How you doing, buddy? And he says, yeah, gotta beat Dreesen. Yeah, I'm surprised the computer did pinch hit for the pitcher. So Rusty Staub, La Grande à l'Orange to lead off. And then Grody and Milner. Staub 1 for 2. Popped out to second in the first, walked in the third, and singled to center in the 5th. Billingham's up to 104 pitches, good for 130. Here's the pitch to Staub, and Staub sends that ball deep, and Griffey makes the catch at the warning track. What a great running catch by Ken Griffey. Wow, robbing Staub of extra bases. So 1 out, Jerry Grody, the Mets catcher, comes to the plate, 1 for 3. Grounded out in the first, doubled in the third, then grounded out in the 5th. Johnny Bench goes through the signs. Here's the pitch to Grody. And Grody grounds to Perez, who flips to Billingham. 2 outs. And now the man of the hour, John Milner. Mets first baseman, 2 for 3. A solo home run in the 2nd. He flied deep in the 3rd, and then he hit another solo home run in the 6th. Can he get another one? We shall see. Bench goes out to have a word with Billingham. He wants Billingham to know exactly how they want to pitch to Milner. Bench goes back behind the plate. The windup and the pitch by Jack Billingham. And Milner sends that ball out to shallow right field. Griffey comes in and makes the catch, inning over. It sounded good off the bat, but didn't really go anywhere. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mets 3, Cincinnati 1. Seaver's up to 104 pitches. Still looking strong. He'll deal with Morgan, Rose, and Foster. Joe Morgan 0 for 3. He's due to break out, though. If you're a Mets fan, you don't want to see him break out. Here's the pitch by Tom Seaver. Grounded up the middle. Oh no, it's a fly. It's a line drive, excuse me. Mays has a 55% chance of trying to catch this ball. Let's see if he can make a spectacular catch. And he does! Willie Mays makes the diving catch, robbing Morgan of extra bases. Holy cow, Willie Mays, the aging say-hey kid, turns back the clock. Absolutely fabulous. Elan's in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Hope all is well. Remember to check out EO Sports League. That's Elan's channel. He does a nice job. Check that out, EO Sports League. So 1 out, nobody on, and the crowd is just amazed by that catch by the aging Willie Mays. Pete Rose at the plate. Switch hitter batting left-handed off the right-handed pitching Tom Seaver. Rose 0 for 3. Seaver toes the rubber, nods his head. Here's the pitch. And that ball is a single. So Rose with a 1-out single in the shallow right center. Rose 7 out of 10 for speed, 28% of chance of stealing second base. Milner will hold him on, and the dangerous George Foster comes to the plate. Foster's 1 for 3. One swing of the bat and this game's tied up. That would bring the Reds fans out of their seats. Foster doubled off the left center field wall in the first, lined to short, struck out in the 6th. Now Grody goes out to the mound and has a word with Seaver. Goes back behind the plate. Goes through the signs. Here's the pitch to Foster. And that's grounded past Garrett for a single. Rose goes to second. Foster's at first. Johnny Bench, the Hall of Fame catcher, comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. And if you're a Reds fan, you're saying, hey, Johnny, you're due. Foster represents the tying run at first. Bench walked in the first, struck out in the 3rd, and grounded to short in the 6th. Seaver, 111 pitches, threshold of 140. Big moment of truth here for Tom Seaver in this game. Remember, this is a one-and-done tournament. You lose, you snooze. You win, you're in. Here's the pitch by Tom Terrific. And he strikes out Johnny Bench. Bench goes back to the bench unhappy. So 2 outs now, 2 on. Ken Griffey Sr. comes to the plate, looking to extend this inning or tie this ball game up or possibly even go ahead. Griffey 1 for 3. Fly deep to right center in the first, grounded to 3rd in the 4th, and tripled to right center in the 7th. He'd like to get another triple here. Ball game would be tied. The windup and the pitch by Seaver. And that ball is ripped to Garrett, who quickly throws the Milner. Inning over. The Reds' threat is snuffed out. We go to the top of the 9th. The 1973 New York Metropolitans 3. They are the 8th seed in the National League bracket. The 1975 Cincinnati Reds 1. They are the 1 seed in the National League bracket. And coming to the plate, Willie Mays. He's 0 for 3, but what a catch he made. What a catch he made. Unbelievable. So Mays 0 for 3, struck out in the 2nd, fly to shallow right center in the 4th, and struck out again in the 6th. He'll be taking. Billingham still out on the mound, 118 pitches. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike 1. Curveball, inside corner at the knees. Mays, none too happy with that pitch. Smiles. Now he awaits Billingham's next offering. And here it is. And another strikeout by Willie Mays. So 1 up, 1 down. Wayne Garrett, Mets third baseman, comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to the catcher, walked, and fly deep to left center. Looking to give a Reds fan a souvenir right now. Someone out in the outfield bleachers. Rose. Again, Rose creeps in a little bit at 3rd. Now goes back a bit. The windup and the pitch to Wayne Garrett. And Garrett rips a double off the wall. So a 1-out double. Garrett's in scoring position. Very important insurance run there for the Mets. And Cleon Jones comes to the plate. The Mets left fielder's 0 for 2. Fly deep down the left field line in the 2nd. Then was hit by a curveball in the 4th and struck out in the 6th. Billingham now up to 126. Threshold of 130. Anderson still sticking with him. Sparky Anderson, what are you doing? We would all like to know. The windup and the pitch to Cleon Jones. No, they walk him. They walk him. They intentionally walk Cleon Jones. To set up the double play ball, they're going to face the Bud Harrelson. Out of curiosity, I'm going to click on this and see who else do we have we can play shortstop. Brian Ostrasser. What did he bat against righties? Nothing. Who do I have who can bat off righties? Greg Hartz. I never even heard of him. You know why? Because he only had 2 at-bats in 1973. But he's eligible. In my tournament, everyone's eligible. That's what's so cool. Ed Cranepool, 238. Jim Beauchamp, first base. Ooh, we might go with him. Ted Martinez can play shortstop. Let's see how good defensively Ted Martinez is. He's a 5 at shortstop. We might do that. Might pinch hit for Harrelson. Let's see what this Osterster is at shortstop. He's a 1. Yeah, he's not going to come off the bench. You stay right on the bench there, Brian. So, what we might do here, and I think we're going to do it, we're going to go with Jim Beauchamp, I believe you pronounce his name. He bats .313 off right-handed pitching. He had 61 at-bats. Again, anyone who is on the Mets roster is eligible. On any team's roster is eligible in the tournament. That's the way I made it, because what the heck, it's a simulation. Let's have fun with it. So he bats .313. Greg Hartz, who had 2 at-bats, bats .500, but 2 at-bats, I'm not trusting in that. So we're going to go with Beauchamp's going to come in to pinch hit for Harrelson. There he is. So let's see what the Reds will do. Beauchamp will swing away. 1 out, runners at first and second. Let's see if Billingham is going to be in this game. Here's the pitch. And Beauchamp grounds. It's a fielder's choice. So runners advance. They get, I thought it was going to be a double play ball, but Morgan went to first. So Jones is at second. Garrett is at third. And now, do we take Tom Seaver out? Wow. Let's look at our bullpen. We got Tug McGraw. McGraw had, how many saves? I think he had 24 saves that year. He's a lefty. And then we have, he'll face Perez, Geronimo. Oh, yeah, I don't want that. These 2 runs are very important, though. Jeez. Hello, Ken Castro. How you doing? No, you don't have to worry you're sorry being late. Ooh, Pine Tar. Was that the other Earl? Oh, thank you, the Bears, the Cubs. Jim Beecham. Thank you very much for doing that phonetically in the chat. I appreciate that. All right, let me ask the chat. Should I pinch hit for Severs with runners at second and third? Mets up by 2. Top of the 9th. Severs, 1 run. He's given up 6 hits. And go to Tug McGraw, my closer, who's a lefty. But, as you can see, he would face Tony Perez, lefty Geronimo, the Concepcion, Bourbon has now come in. So they'll pinch hit for Bourbon. I'm waiting to see what the chat says. I think I'm going to stick with Seaver. He's been cruising along. You know, let me just check my bullpen. So McGraw against righties, 236 average. Against lefties, he's actually worse against lefties, 264. And he had 25 saves. Do I go to my closer or keep Seaver in? I'm going to keep Seaver in the game. Let's look one more time at the pinch hitters. So they just brought Bourbon in. So he's a right-handed pitcher. Who do we have? We use Beecham. I mean, I could go with Greg Hartz, who only had 2 at-bats for the Mets in '73. But he obviously had 1 hit off of right-handed pitching. He was 1 for 2 off righties because he has a .500 batting average. Oh boy. You know what? I think I'm going to stick with Seavers. The Bears. Oh, so Chris Anderson's pinch hit runs. I know. And I always do this, dyslexia. The Cubs, the Bears. McGraw's screwball was very effective against righties. Yeah. All right, we're going to pinch hit. This chat has spoken. I have gone to my bench coaches, and they say to go with a pinch hitter. So we're going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Greg Hartz. I know he only had 2 at-bats, but he had a hit off a righty. The next best guy is Ted Martinez, who's going to come in to play short. He hit 243. Now, he had more at-bats. He had 263 at-bats, in fact. We're going to roll the dice with the lefty Greg Hartz. Here he comes. So here's Greg Hartz. Moment of truth here. McGraw's ready in the pen to come in. Pedro Borbon in 1975. 9 wins, 5 losses, 5 saves. Earned run average. 2.95. Batting average against 300. Against left-handers, he gave up a 292 average. He's actually horrible. 307 against right-handers, but. And Hartz hit 500 off right-handers, so we're rolling the dice here. Borbon struck out 29, walked 21. Hartz comes up, he's ready to grip and rip. He's going to jump on that first pitch if it's in there. Garrett at third, Jones at second. Moment of truth in this game. The windup and the pitch by Borbon. And it's a wild pitch! Yes! Garrett comes running in from third. Cleon Jones goes to third. And the Mets are now up 4-1. Borbon poops the bed by throwing a wild pitch. Johnny Bench did his best to try to corral it, but to no avail. Wow. So they get another insurance run. But they want more runs, as this Reds lineup is very dangerous. They won 108 games in 1975. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, the windup and the pitch by Borbon, 2 outs. And Hart strikes out. So that strategy didn't work, but we did get a run. We now go to the bottom of the 9th. The 1973 New York Metropolitans 4. The 1975 Cincinnati Reds 1. So we need a new shortstop. And that's going to be Martinez. And he'll go in the 8th spot. So there's Martinez, Ted Martinez. And now here comes Tug McGraw. So Tug McGraw comes in from the bullpen, God rest his soul. He will face Tony Perez, Cesar Geronimo, and Davey Concepcion. If anyone gets on, most likely a pinch hitter, as Borbon is the 4th man up this inning. Tony Perez, 1 for 3 today. Singled in the 2nd, fly deep to left in the 4th, and struck out in the 7th. Mets 3 outs away from advancing as the 8th seed in this one-and-done tournament in the National League bracket. The windup and the pitch to Perez. That's Willie Mays comes in and makes the catch. 1 out. I thought that was going to bloop in. Nice catch once again by the aging Say Hey Kid. Wow. Mets 2 outs away. Cesar Geronimo steps to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Geronimo 1 for 3. Geronimo only bats .164 off left-handed pitching. McGraw gives up a .264 average against lefties. Geronimo struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, and doubled in the 7th. And that's how Griffey scored. The Reds' 1 and only run. The windup and the pitch by McGraw. Up, but before that, pinch hitter. Doug Flynn steps to the plate. Doug Flynn, who will be part of the trade, the the Reds make to get Tom Seaver in 1977. They sent Doug Flynn and Pat Zachary and 2 other players who I can't think of to the Mets. One of them might have been a catcher. Can't remember. But it was a horrible trade, in my opinion, for the Mets. So Doug Flynn comes to the plate. 1975, Flynn batted .268, and that's with 127 at-bats. 1 home run, 20 RBIs. Against left-handed pitching, .269 average. 1 out, no one on. Here's the pitch to Flynn. That ball sent deep and gone! Oh boy, Flynn got a hold of that one. Wow, he crushed that pitch. 336. The Reds are not dead yet. 4-2. Davey Concepcion steps to the plate. Concepcion's 0 for 3. Grounded out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 5th, and fly deep to left center in the 7th. McGraw has to shake that off. Brody goes out and has a word with him. McGraw kind of giggles. They both have a good chuckle, and Brody goes back behind the plate. So 1 out, no one on. It's now a 4-2 ball game. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. And now a pinch hitter. It's going to be Marv Ritterman. Marv hit .239 in 1975. 2 home runs and 19 RBIs. He batted .283 off left-handed pitching. Some tension now in the Mets dugout. The jubilation has decreased a bit. Brody goes through the signs. The windup and the pitch by Tug McGraw. And that ball is gone! Unbelievable! Back-to-back jacks! Oh my God! It's now 4-3. I'm ruining the decision I made not to keep Seaver in this game. McGraw's gotten hammered. He got the first out of the inning and has given up back-to-back home runs to Flynn, and Ritterman. The Reds are 1 run away from tying this game up. Pedro Barbon comes to the plate. Now we got to look at our bullpen. Who else do we have here? Let's look at everybody, even starters. As Kuzman and Matlack, well, they're both lefties. Kuzman quickly gets up in the bullpen. Who do we have on the right side? Not many options here. Just looking. All right, boy. Well, I'm going to click pitch. A pinch hitter will come up. Here's the pinch hitter. Ed Armbrister. Ed Armbrister comes to the plate. Armbrister hit .175 against lefties. Come on, Tug, get this out here. Joe Morgan's on deck. Good God, we're not going to... Oh, my God, Morgan can jack one out. All right. So it's 4-3 now. 2 solo home runs back-to-back have pulled the Reds back in this ball game. The windup and the pitch to Armbrister. And that's grounded to Garrett over to Miller for out number 2. So the Mets are 1 out away from victory. Joe Morgan comes to plate. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Morgan at .279 off left-handed pitching. Again, McGraw gave up a .264 average. He's given up 2 home runs in this inning, McGraw. Morgan's 0 for 4 today. Grounded out in the 1st. Fly deep in the 2nd. In the 5th, flied out to shallow center, and then lined out in the 8th. And again, let's look at our bullpen. Kuzman against left-handers, .224. Matlack, .223. Ooh! Ray Siddiqui, .168. That's it. They look out to the bullpen. They get the signal. Siddiqui's ready. And Siddiqui's coming in. McGraw just didn't have it. Moment of truth here. 2 outs, no one on, 4-3 ball game. Lefty-lefty matchup. Ray Sadecki. Hopefully the Cubs, the Bears can tell me how to say that one. I'm going to say Sadecki. Ray was 5 wins, 4 losses, 1 save in 1973 for the Mets. 3.39 ERA. Batting average against, 248. He only gave up a 168 batting average against left-handers. Brody goes out, has a word with him. Now back behind the plate. The windup and the pitch to Morgan. And that ball is deep, but caught at the warning track by Rusty Staub. Hallelujah! The Metropolitans win 4-3, but Morgan gave it a ride. What an unbelievable ball game, folks. Unbelievable. The Bears, the Cubs says, yep, Sadecki. Thank you very much. Ken Castro, Mets lucky. Or was it my brilliant management? Alright, that was a fun game. I've had 2 fun games today with this tournament. I'm going to enjoy this tournament. Wow. McGraw gives up 2 back-to-back. So Doug Flynn. And Redeman only had, I think he only had 2 home runs on the year. All right, so we'll bring up the box score. I'd like to say thank you for everyone who jumped in the chat and watched. Thank you to Ken Castro, Chris Anderson, the Bears, the Cubs, Elin, Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. Remember to check out Elin's channel, EO Sports League, and Higher Ground Gaming with Eric. Great channels. Also, who else was there? There's some other people there. ID Gesture was here. Check out ID Gesture's channel. And we had What's Blazing in Sports. Check him out also. And Max Cornelius stopped by to say hi. So thank you very much to all you fine gentlemen. Appreciate it a lot. I don't know if you probably don't know how much this means to me, but it's enjoyable. It helps me get my mind off. Oh my God, my good friend. Here's my good friend. The brilliant BP4 Gaming. And oh boy, Broke Black Man 94's jumped back in. Hail, hail, the gang is all here. Check out PB4 Gaming's channel. PB4 Gaming's outsmarting everyone. He's showing a movie 30 seconds at a time. It's brilliant. I love it. Great job, my friend. Okay, so Chris Anderson has that 77 trade that the Mets, which was a stupid trade by the Mets. He said Doug Flynn, Steve Henderson, Dan Norman, and Pat Zachary were sent to the Mets for Tom Seaver. Again, 3 of those players are very serviceable, but I wouldn't trade. The Mets got rid of Tom Seaver in a span of 3 years. Got rid of Tom Seaver, John Matlack, and Jerry Koosman. Instead of going to free agency and improving their team, they trade away their best pitchers. Stupidity. Oh, what happened to BB4? I was just on his YouTube station. I'll have to check that out. Anyway, let's go to the box score. Player of the game, Tom Seaver, 1-0 in this tournament. Losing pitcher, Jack Billingham. And here's the box score. We'll have that up momentarily. And here we go with the box score. You should see it in seconds. Let's go to the pitching. So Tom Seaver was player of the game. Oh, you got 2 copyright strikes. Just be chill, BB4. That's all. Low profile, my friend. All right. So let's go to the pitching. Tom Seaver went 8 innings. He was player of the game. Gets his first win in the tournament. Most likely will only pitch probably 3 times in this tournament if the Mets go all the way. 8 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 1, struck out 8. McGraw came in and got a very shaky hold. Went 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. They were both home runs back-to-back. He was pulled for Sadecki. Sadecki got the 3rd out. Ball game over. It was a deep fly ball by Morgan that Staub caught. Stayed in the ballpark. He did his job. Jack Billingham went 8 2/3 innings. 5 hits. He only gave up 5 hits. 4 runs, all earned. It was the 2 home runs by... I thought Milner. If it was me, I would have had co-MVPs of the game. Tom Seaver and John Milner. Milner had 2 homers. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Bourbon came in and got the last out of the top of the 9th. Let's quickly go to the batting. For the Mets, Felix Millan 0 for 3, 1 run. Rusty Staub 1 for 3, 1 walk. Grody 1 for 4 with an RBI. He doubled his 1 hit. Milner 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 home runs. I would have had co-MVPs, John Milner and Tom Seaver. In fact, I'm having co-MVPs, I've decided. Willie Mays played really pretty good defense out in center. He was 0 for 4, though, and he struck out 3 times. So we're going to have to revisit what we're going to do with Willie Mays, as I will always be playing as the Mets, as they are the lowest seed, no matter who they play. Garrett, the 3rd baseman, 1 for 3, 1 walk, 1 run scored. He had a double. Cleon Jones, 0 for 2, 1 walk, 1 K. Harrelson, shortstop, 0 for 3. How do you pronounce this guy's name again? Let me go back up. Beecham was 0 for 1. He was a pinch hitter. Martinez came in defensively at short in the 9th. Seaver 0 for 3, 1 strikeout. Hartz came in to pinch hit. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. McGraw and Sadecki did not get at-bats. The Mets had 31 at-bats, 4 runs on 5 hits, 3 RBIs, as 1 was unearned, 3 walks. Oh, no, 1 was on a wild pitch, excuse me. And 6 Ks, 2 doubles, no triples, and 2 home runs by John Milner. For Cincinnati Reds, who are out of the tournament, their leadoff hitter, Joe Morgan, 0 for 5. Pete Rose, 1 for 4. Foster, 2 for 4. Struck out once, had a double. Johnny Bench, 0 for 3. Walked once, struck out twice. Big moments for Johnny Bench, and he struck out twice. Griffey, 1 for 4. Runs scored. Tony Perez, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Cesar Geronimo, 1 for 3. 1 RBI. 2 Ks. Doug Flint, pinch hit home run. Concepcion 0 for 3. Redeman, pitch hit home run in the 9th. Those were back-to-back home runs. Pulled the Reds to within 1 at 4-3. Billingham, the pitcher, 0 for 3, struck out twice. Bourbon did not get an at-bat. And Armbrister, a pinch hitter, 0 for 1. The Cincinnati Reds, 36 at-bats, 3 runs, 8 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. Quickly go to the recap. Mets scored a run in the 2nd on a solo homer by John Milner. They scored a run in the 3rd. Grody doubled, and Millan scored, made it 2-0 Mets. Then in the 6th, John Milner hit another solo shot, made it 3-0. Bottom of the 7th, Reds come back. They get a run. Cesar Geronimo doubled. Griffey scored. Mets 3-1. In the 9th, the Mets score a run on a wild pitch by Bourbon. They only got 1. So they go to the bottom of the 9th, 4-1. They bring in their closer, Tug McGraw, who promptly gave up back-to-back home runs to pinch hitter Doug Flynn and Merv Redemond. And that pulled the game to within 4-3. Sadecki came out of the bullpen, got the final out. He got Joe Morgan to fly out deep to Rusty Staub. Ball game over. Tom Seaver, the winning pitcher. Ray Sadecki, the save. Jack Billingham, the losing pitcher. So the Mets move on. The Reds go home. Once again, 4-3. The 1973 Mets, the 8th seed, defeat the 1975 Cincinnati Reds, the 1 seed. This is Al Red Sox fan saying thank you very much to everyone who was in the chat. I greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you again. Once again, one more shout out to everyone. BB4 Gaming, check out his channel. Broke Black Man 94, check out his channel. Oh, he says on his stream, BB4 Gaming had a stream. I was wondering why. I'm sorry, Broke Black Man 94 had a stream. I was wondering why I couldn't. I was like, oh, he's not talking. Thank you to Christopher Anderson, Ken Castro, the Bears, the Cubs. I always do that. The Cubs, the Bears. Elin, check out EO Sports League. Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, check out Higher Ground Gaming. ID Gesture. Remember to check out his channel. And also What's Blazing in Sports. All wonderful channels. So till next time, health and happiness. Take care. Roll with the punches. And counter. Bye-bye and God bless.